Hey, I'm Kyle with ConvertKit. Thanks so much for joining me for this demo event. I'm super excited to jump into what ConvertKit has to offer. So I'm about to jump in here to the demo, and I just want to say up front, it's so exciting to share this with you, to talk through ConvertKit with you. This may be your first time experiencing an email marketing service, or you may just be really tired of the email marketing service you're with right now. I completely understand that feeling. When I switched over to ConvertKit, it was the same thing. I was starting to sell some products and I just didn't feel like my current service really worked for me. And ConvertKit has so many awesome features. That being said, there is a free plan for ConvertKit and a creator plan. You may have seen that already, or you may not be aware. At the very end of this video, I'll make sure to break down exactly what belongs to each plan, but just know that as I go through this demo, we're really looking at ConvertKit as a whole, so what you would get if you're on that creator plan, and then I'll let you know what would not be included if you were to go with the free plan. So stick around till the end and we'll kind of break that down and make sure that it's understood what you would get on the free or paid account, but it's at least worth seeing everything that we have to offer. So let's jump in here at the first, and we'll get started with forms and landing pages. Forms and landing pages are a great way to capture your email subscribers, and so that's a great place to start. We're going to start building your list with those forms and landing pages.
All right, so here we are in ConvertKit, and the very first page you'll come to when you sign into your account is subscribers. And that's a great place to start if you've been building your list for a while and you just want to see your current activity for subscribers. But for the purposes of this demo, I'd like to walk through the app in a little bit of a different order than this menu up here at the top. So first, we're going to look at how do subscribers get into your account. For that, we'll be taking a look at the landing pages and forms section of the app. When someone signs up, where do they go and how are they organized? For that, we'll be looking here at the subscribers page. Once subscribers are in your account and organized, how do you send them an email? So for that, we'll be taking a look at broadcasts. And finally, how can you automate your emails and give your subscribers the best possible experience? For that, we'll be taking a look at sequences and visual automations. And again, some of these things are only in the creator paid accounts. However, I'm going to go over everything here and then talk about what's in the free plan versus what's in those creator paid accounts so that you can make a decision based on what you know ConvertKit can do and then decide if you'd like to do without some of those features for the free plan. So let's go ahead and go over to the landing pages and forms section. The first thing you'll notice here is this chart up at the top. I'm going to explain this in more detail in just a minute, but first I want to talk about simply what are landing pages and what are forms. So if I click Create New here on the right side, you'll see I have two options. I can either create a form or I can create a landing page. A form is a sign up that can be embedded on your existing website, while a landing page is its own page hosted through ConvertKit. We also provide a domain name for that page so you can get something set up and start sharing it right away. Let's go ahead and dive into setting up a landing page, and then we'll take a look at a form. These editors are very similar, so I think taking a look at a landing page is a great place to get started. Now, once you select a landing page as what you'd like to start making, you'll see this option to choose your template, and we have an extensive list of templates that are constantly growing. In fact, by the time you see this demo, there may even be some more templates out there. So we are constantly expanding this, and understandably, this could get a little overwhelming. So one thing you can do over here on the left side is narrow down your search results. So rather than all templates, you could just look at the templates we recommend for events, for example. Or you could take a look at the templates we suggest if you're just looking at a newsletter, for example. So you can narrow down what kind of pages you're looking for here and get a good idea of what you'd like to use for your project. Of course, you're not limited to using these categories. Definitely get creative, use the one that looks best for you, but understandably seeing all of them at one time could get a little bit overwhelming. So I'm going to go down here and choose the Cypress landing page template. Now that I've selected that template, you can see there's a page here. It has a form on it. It also has some more details, space for an image, and there's some sample text in here. Technically, at this point, the page is really ready to go. That's how fast it is to create a page here in ConvertKit. Of course, you'll want to change out the content and all of those things to meet your needs. And to do that, you just click where you'd like to start editing. So let's say, for example, this title here, Jane Doe. If I wanted to change that to something else, I could quickly highlight that, start typing out what I want it to say. And over on the right side, wherever I've clicked, you'll see some options for styles. So for example, I can change the color of this to something else. And then anywhere I click, I'll start seeing different styles appear over on the right side, even for these form fields here. So as you can see, there's quite a few options for form fields even. And then this button, I can also change that. Now images, there's one thing I want to mention really fast. If I click on this image area and I choose an image, I can of course choose an image that I've uploaded from my computer. You can absolutely do that, but we also have integrations with Unsplash and Instagram. So Unsplash is a really great integration here, especially if you're trying to get something set up pretty quickly. You can go into Unsplash's library. They're just royalty-free stock photography, and you don't have to pay anything to use any of these. You just can search their library here, find something that works best for you, and when you see something that works, for example, let's try this one, it will just instantly be inserted into your page. And this also applies to emails, anywhere else you can insert images. You can also, if I replace this, connect up your account with Instagram. This will just bring in the same kind of tiled view of your Instagram posts and allow you to insert images from your Instagram account here in ConvertKit quickly and easily. So with that out of the way, I'm going to quickly set up this page to look the way I'd like to for a project and just kind of show you how much you can change things and make it look like your brand and what you're trying to promote. All right, so through the magic of editing, I've skipped the process of me clicking places and selecting colors and changing text and all of those things, but here's a final page set up to meet my needs for this particular page. You can see how drastically you can change this and make it look the way you would really like it to look. Something I didn't mention about styling these is that when you click somewhere, like I said, you'll see those styles over here on the right side, but you'll notice next to this text styles at the top, you also have general styles. So if you go to general styles, you'll see, for example, what the template name for this page is, what heading font you're using and what body font you're using, as well as some information about the background and different things like that, and an option to insert some custom CSS if you want to do anything like that. So this is a page that's set up and ready. Just wanted to kind of show you how much you could make changes to this thing. Up at the top left, you'll notice that I changed the name of this page. So now it's hike food packing. That's just for me to remember what this page is all about. I can also create a thank you page. So next to this, you'll see a plus icon, and here I can create a thank you page. What's great about this thank you page is that it takes all of the styles that I've set up here and just copies them to a new page. That new page just has some text and some information, and then you can click here, of course, to choose a different image that you'd like to put in there, and you're done. So that's the quick and easy way to set up a landing page. Now, there are some settings that you'll want to take a look at, and we'll look at those up here at the top right. So if I click on settings, here on this page, you can choose what someone sees when they first sign up. So when they sign up to this form that's on the page, what happens next? And by default, the form just goes away and it's replaced with this success, check your emails to confirm your subscription. What you can select instead, now that you've created a thank you page, is redirect to thank you page, and that will redirect to the page you've created here in the editor. Or you can send them out to a different page. Maybe you have a specific thank you page already set up on your website and you want to send them there. You can do that here. You can also set up a custom domain name for your landing page. I'm not going to go through the full setup for that. Just know that it is an option, and you can learn more about custom domain names at help.convertkit.com. Just search custom domain name, and there you'll see some information about how you can set up your own custom domain rather than using the one that we've provided for you. There's also options for the incentive. So this is the very first email your subscribers will receive. So we're getting into subscribing and then receiving that very first email. And by default, this incentive email is what you may know as a double opt-in or confirmation email. If I edit the email contents here, you'll see that it basically just says, thanks for signing up. Click the link to confirm. You confirm your subscription by clicking the button. And that's really all this email does by default. But this email can be really, really powerful. And I want to show you that really quick. So let me cancel out of this. Now, I obviously want this to send out, but what happens when the button in that email is clicked? Currently, it just goes to this page, which we've set up as just a page to supply for you. It basically just says, thank you for confirming your subscription. And, thanks you for doing that. But you can change this redirect. So when someone clicks on this button, it could send them somewhere else, maybe to a page that has a video on it that you've promised them or something like that. You can also choose to have a download here. And this is where these get so powerful at this part of setting up a landing page. So each landing page you have and each form that you have can have its own downloadable incentive. And all you do is just click on this download, choose a file, grab a file that you'd like to include here, something like a PDF or something like that. And when they click this button in the email, not only will it confirm their subscription, but it will also give them that download. So it'll instantly start downloading the file that you've attached to this landing page. So you can change this text. You could say something like, what I prefer to do is something like confirm and download. And then, of course, in the text above that, just explain when you click the button below, you're not only confirming your subscription, but you're also downloading that thing that I promised you. So that's a quick look at how you can set up this incentive. We'll go into more detail about the email editor and how that works here in just a little bit, but that incentive email is a super powerful part of getting people to sign up to your list, offering them something in advance. And it's just a great, clean setup for each of these landing pages and forms. Under the advanced section, I won't go into this in too much detail. Really, this is kind of self-explanatory. I'll skip over that for now. SEO and analytics. This area allows you to put in a title and description for the page. So this is not something you'll see while you're looking at the page. This is just something that search engines use to display what the page will be about. So if somebody searches for your page and they come across it in Google, what will the title be? What will the description be? It doesn't specifically have to be Google, but that's just an example. And then this image is the featured image of the page. Again, nobody will see this while they're on the page, but let's say that you share a link to this landing page on your social media accounts. So for example, Facebook and Twitter both have ways of displaying links where you see an image and then a title and a description under that before you click the link. So it kind of creates this little card. This information will be used for those links as well. And you can also hook your page up to different analytic platforms, Google Analytics, Facebook Business, Segment, Pinterest. All of these have more information at help.convertkit.com. And if you're in one of these landing pages setting it up, just click here and you can get started with setting those up right away. So now we've got a landing page set up, ready to share. And to do that, we just click share up here at the top. You can also preview your page ahead of time. There are some things that show up in the editor that you won't see in the final page. For example, this plus here lets you add in new form fields. So you could say, I want to add in first name, for example. And then you could even drag these around and rearrange them. But this plus will not be here in the final page, of course. So if you click preview, you can see what that would look like as a page normally without all of that extra interface stuff there. So I'm going to click share here, and this will give me a link. And here is the current link of the page. Just copy that, share that anywhere you would like to share this page, and people can go visit it right away. If I'm setting up a form specifically, I can just click on form, and then I'm given this option to choose the display format. The display format is just how will this appear on your website. So you have inline, which is just inline with your text, modal, which will pop up over everything, slide in, which comes in from the bottom and you can dismiss it, sticky bar, which comes in from the top and can also be dismissed. For this example, I'll just choose inline. And then you can also choose a template for your form. So how do you want this form generally to look? Of course, same thing as with the landing pages. You can make changes to all of the styles and text and all of those things. So I'm just going to choose this template up here at the top left. And now you can see this editor looks exactly the same as it looked for landing pages. If I click somewhere, I get options over here on the right side. I can also change this text, change the images. All of those things we looked at in landing pages are the same. The only difference here is that instead of sharing a link to this, you'll want to embed this form on your website. So up here at the top, we'll just choose embed. And there's a few different options here. JavaScript, which is what we recommend the most. You can just paste this code onto your website, and that's where the form will appear. You can also choose HTML, which gives you all of the code for this form. This is mostly reserved for people who are web developers. If that's you and you'd like to dig into the code, you can grab the HTML here. Just be aware that if you make changes, this HTML code would need to be re-embedded on your site and updated. If you go to WordPress, and let's say you have a WordPress website, you can install our ConvertKit WordPress plugin, and that will allow you to just use this shortcode here, paste that anywhere you'd like to on your site, and have the form appear there. So let's go back out to the main landing pages and forms page. And as I mentioned earlier, on this page, you'll see this graph up here at the top. This graph is showing you what people have signed up to each day. Now, this is a demo account, so this demo account doesn't have any really organic activity. This is just something I've set up to show you how ConvertKit works. Normally you'd see a bunch of activity here, but you can see here we've had one sign up for this particular page, one sign up for this page, and one sign up for this page, all of these on October 31st. So you can quickly and easily see exactly what people have signed up to, and that gives you a great idea of who's signed up where. You can also see a quick overview of stats. So if I go down here to the landing pages and forms I have set up for this account, you can see this Better Coffee landing page, blueberry toast recipe, for example. Both of those, I can see how many people have visited that form or landing page. And I can also see the conversion rate for those particular things. So the conversion rate is just based on visitors and subscribers. So 13 visitors, 6 subscribers, that works out to a 46% conversion rate. You can also click on these. So let's say I go into this form specifically, and I go over to reports at the top right. We could have also done this in that landing page we looked at. You can see a nice overview of visitors, subscribers, conversion rate. You can also see top refers, so what links have people come from to get to this form or landing page once it was loaded. And you can also click into these areas and see a more detailed list of, for example, these 6 subscribers. Who are those 6 subscribers? And on the right side, you can download that list as well.
All right, so that's a little bit about forms and landing pages and how you can quickly and easily set those up and start growing your list right away. But speaking of growing your list, how do you manage your list? Where do you go to see those subscribers, and how do you make sure you understand those subscribers and have them organized in a way where you can target them based on their interests? Let's take a look at that right now with the subscribers page.
This page might look a little bit familiar because at the beginning of this demo, we skipped over it to go over to the landing pages and forms section. But subscribers is normally the very first page you would come to when you sign into ConvertKit. And it's a great place to see your list, see who's new, how many people have subscribed each day, get a really good idea of the health of your list. This graph up here at the top shows subscriber growth over time and kind of gives you a good idea of how many people are subscribing or unsubscribing. This may look a little bit small in this example, and that's because I've zoomed out. So up here at the top right, you can choose exactly what time frame you're looking at. Normally it's 30 days, but I've changed that to 6 months in this case just to show you some examples. This is a demo account, so there's not a lot of growth or anything like that. We're not having real people sign up to this list. This is just purely an example. So if I go back here, you can see, for example, on June 21st, I had 30 new subscribers. The next day, there were 10 new subscribers, and then one cancellation, which is an unsubscribe. And so we had 9 net new subscribers. So you can really see a good idea of what's happening each day as you scrub through this graph. You can also see total subscribers over time. So if I scrub through this graph, you can see certain days where the list has started to grow. And then of course down here, we've got a little bit of growth as well. Now here in ConvertKit, you'll notice right off the bat, you have a huge kind of just general list here. At ConvertKit, we like to say we are subscriber-centric rather than list-centric. And what we mean by that is that you have, again, this big main list here, but you can start dividing your subscribers up and organizing them based on tags. So over here on the right side, you'll see tags. And I've got quite a few tags already in this account. And you can click on a certain tag and see how many subscribers belong to that tag. So in this case, we have 15 people here, and you can see all 15 in this tag. You'll see a title up at the top to tell you what tag you're looking at. And so you can look through these tags and see people. What's most important about these is that once you start emailing, you can send directly to these tags specifically and use these tags to build audiences. Now, if you're looking at your general list and you just click on someone here in your list, you'll see some more info about them. So each subscriber has their own subscriber profile, and this includes information about what emails you've sent them, what type of email that was. If you hover over these dots, there's information about when it was delivered. If it was opened, it'll be green, so it'll show that it was opened. And then there's another symbol for a clicked email. So they opened it and clicked a link in that email. So they're pretty high engagement with it. You can see these. You can also click into each of these emails and see more details about them. And you can see more information about the subscriber. So you can see what forms they came in through. In this case, I imported this person, so they aren't subscribed to any forms. They are in the welcome sequence, and they're still active, so they're going through that still. Automations, if they're part of any automations, you'll see that here. And we'll talk about sequences and automations a little bit later. This is just letting you know what kind of information you'll see. Over on the left side, you'll see any info they've given you. So all of these fields are available for your forms and landing pages. But in this case, maybe this person hasn't signed up to anything where they've had to share their interests or phone number or anything like that. So these custom fields are just there. And if they fill them out, this will be added to their subscriber profile. You can also see what tags this specific subscriber belongs to, and you can remove them with the little trash can, or you can add more tags to them if you want to. So you can organize them maybe manually a little bit more as well.
Okay, so we're managing subscribers. We've got a way for subscribers to get on our list. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, how do I email these subscribers? How do I let them know what I'm working on and share things with the world? Let's dive into broadcasts and take a look at exactly how you can email your subscribers and start getting some engagement going.
So a broadcast here in ConvertKit is just a one-time send it now style email. This may be closer to what the kind of email you're used to. We'll get to automation soon and show how you can start sending emails to someone the moment they sign up. But this is just an email that goes out to all of your subscribers, or maybe a specific subset of those subscribers. So let's go ahead and click into this broadcast I've started. At the very first here, you can choose who this broadcast will be from. So if you have more than one sending address here in ConvertKit, you can choose which one it will be sent from. And then you get into who will receive this broadcast. Now, by default, it will just go to all of your subscribers, which is perfectly fine. But let's say you only want to send to one specific tag in your account. You could remove this all subscribers criteria here and then add a filter and choose from a lot of different options here. Specifically, I'm going to choose subscribe to and then choose a specific tag. And let's just choose this level 1 tag. So I only want to send to people who are in that level 1 tag. And we'll go ahead, let me remove that one. We'll go ahead and add that as the filter. So now I'm only sending to these 20 people who belong to that level 1 tag. So I can get really specific with this. I could say level 1, and I also want to send to anyone who is subscribed to a specific form in my account. So maybe a certain landing page even. I can add that as a filter. So now I have 21 people. Somebody is part of this landing page but is not level 1. But I'm still going to send out to everyone who's subscribed to this page. So you can really define your audience here and narrow that down, make it exactly who you want to send to. The broadcast description, which is the next step, lets you add basically a note to yourself. So you can go back and see this. This is not something your subscribers will see. This is just for you to see when you go back in your account, and maybe the subject line you've given this email isn't as descriptive as you'd like it to be for your own personal reference. So you can just put in an email to level 1 about bread, for example. And move on to the next step. And here's where we get into writing the email. I've already put in a subject line here. This is where you can type that in. And then down here is the email editor. So I'm going to remove this real fast and we'll take a look at how we can kind of put in a greeting for your subscribers. Wherever you click, you'll see a plus show up over here on the left side. If you click on that plus, you'll see some options. One of those is personalization. So let's say I would like for my subscribers to be greeted with a hello first name, but maybe not everybody has their first name on the list. So I'm going to choose subscriber first name with fallback, and that will insert it where I have my cursor here. And so what this is doing, it looks kind of crazy and complicated, but really all it is this first part is saying, does the subscriber have a first name in the system? If so, say hello first name, and you can change this hello to anything you'd like to. You can even add some text afterwards where this comma is at. Otherwise, if they don't have a first name, just say hello, comma, up here at the top. So this can be used for a lot of cool stuff. You don't have to specifically only use it for a greeting. You could also say, if they have their first name, say a specific line to them, otherwise say a different line. This is really handy and just one of the many things you can do here in the email editor. As you can see, I've bolded this section. To bold things or italicize them, underline them, etc., just highlight, and you can start changing that up by making it bold, italicized, etc. This link here, if I highlight this and make changes to that link, you can see that I've linked over to ConvertKit.com just to have a link here. But what's more important in this area is that you can tag subscribers who click this link. So this is a super handy feature to have. This helps you get subscribers into tags and kind of the beginning of them self-tagging, so to speak. So if they click on this link and they go view your information about making your own bread, maybe you'd like to tag them as being interested in general recipes. Maybe they would just be interested in baking, for example. And so you can use your tags to kind of see what people have clicked on. You may not want to add this with every single link. Just really add this with the important ones, and it's really helpful information for you. Now below this, I've also added in an image. Again, the same way I added in some text up here. I can click anywhere I want to and add in an image, and then select from my computer, Unsplash, Instagram, etc. Insert an image, and here it is. These images can also be links. So if I click on this, I could add in my own URL here. So I could put in ConvertKit.com again. And I can also tag people who click this image. So that's an option as well. And you can also choose how this image is aligned. Maybe you want it to the left. Maybe you don't want any of those rounded corners on it. You can change that here with the slider. And you can really just make this look the way you'd like for it to look. You can also add in buttons. So here's a button that I've added. I've also changed the background color, added a link. I'm even tagging subscribers who click this button. So you have a lot of options here for setting up your emails and making them look the way you'd like for them to look. And finally, the third step here is the preview. So over here on the left side, you'll see an actual preview of this email, similar to what we looked at with that browser preview. And over on the right side, you'll see some information here about this broadcast specifically. Currently, it's a draft. So if you go back to broadcasts at this point, it will just sit there as a draft until you either send it or schedule it. Here's how many recipients currently this would be sent to. And you'll notice here it says send immediately, which is the default, but you can also schedule it for a later day and time. And that's it. You can send an email out to your subscribers that quickly and easily. But let's take a look at what happens after you send an email. So I'm going to click over here to go back to the main broadcast page. And you'll notice on this page, we have some emails that have already been sent out, or some broadcasts specifically that have already been sent out. And there's some information here about how many recipients received it, what the open rate was and click rates, how many people clicked, and then how many people unsubscribed from that email. So you can see a quick overview here on the broadcast page, but you can also go in further and take a closer look. You can see number of recipients, open rate, click rate, number of unsubscribes. You can also see what links were in the email that were clicked. So for example, I had this link in the email, and these 5 subscribers clicked the link. If I click on this link, I could see who those 5 subscribers are specifically. So I could go do certain actions with them if I needed to, like maybe I forgot to include adding a tag with that link, but I really want everyone who clicked that link to be tagged. I could go back and do that retroactively.
Now, broadcasts are great, and I think you've seen exactly how great those broadcasts can be. But as I mentioned, these are one-time, send it now kind of emails. You can schedule them if you'd like to, but what if you want to automate this? What if you want to really start getting into those power features of automation and bringing people into your lists, taking them through an experience as soon as they sign up? To start that, let's take a look at sequences, which are just a series of emails you set up to go out over time when someone's added to that sequence. I know that might be a lot, so let's just dive in.
This is where you'll really start to see how you can automate emails and give your subscribers the best experience. Personally, I believe this is the best part of using ConvertKit, is having these automations set up so that people are receiving information specific to when they signed up. So they're getting it at times that fit with their schedule and their lives and those kind of things. And they're also getting the information that you want them to get, and they're getting it without you specifically having to send out many, many different broadcasts and target only specific tags and all of those kind of things. So we're going to not look at these visual automations just yet. First, we're going to take a look at sequences. So if you look at this top bar where it says visual automations, we're currently in automations. We're going to skip over to sequences. Here in sequences, you can see an overview of all the sequences in your account. And a sequence is just a list of emails that are sent out over a certain amount of time. So here, for example, we're looking at a welcome sequence. This first email is set to send out immediately. The second one will go out a day later. And this third one will go out 3 days after that. You can change those delays by just clicking on the email you want to edit. And then over here on the right side under when to send, you can change how many days or even how many hours between each email you would like to have. Now, the editor itself works exactly the same as what we looked at in broadcasts. So you can, of course, set up your subject line, and then here in the content area, start writing out what it is you'd like to share in this email. Now, there are some settings for sequences I just want to quickly mention. So I'll click over to settings here at the top right. And here in the settings, you can change a few things, such as who should be sending these emails. The second option here is something that I personally love about sequences. You can choose what day these sequences will go out. So A sequence will start sending as soon as someone is added to that sequence using a visual automation. And that's one thing I didn't note over in content, is that this sequence itself will not start sending out to your subscribers. You'll have to connect it up using that visual automation. So you're really just kind of preloading these emails, and then when someone signs up, they begin going through this flow. So that's a quick look at a lot of the settings. Again, if you want more detailed information about these settings and things, help.convertkit.com is a great place to go and kind of look through the resources there. The next thing I'm going to go to is reports for this sequence. So here in reports, you'll see each specific individual email, what the open rate, click rate, how many times it's been sent, all of those things are here for each email. And over on the left side, you'll see a cumulative review. So how many subscribers total are signed up to this sequence, how many have completed it, how many people unsubscribed, and then what's the average open rate and click rate across all of these emails.
Okay, so hopefully the purpose of sequences is a lot clearer now, and you're ready to start automating, but all of this needs to come together, and all of that comes together with visual automations. I like to say that visual automations are a map of things in your account. So let's take a look at that. It's a little bit easier to see than to explain by just talking about it. So let's just dive into that real fast.
So these are visual automations, and the best way I like to describe visual automations are that they're a map of things in your account. So we looked at landing pages and forms as an entry point. We looked at tags as a way to sort of define what subscribers' interests are and get them a little bit more narrowed down as far as where they belong. We also took a look at things like sequences and how you can send out those automated emails as soon as someone signs up. So this is just bringing all of that together and telling your account how to treat someone who's subscribed to certain forms or belongs to certain tags. Let's just start up a new automation and I'll show you what I mean. So here on this first new automation screen, you'll see the option to either browse some templates. So we do have some templates for different situations, like, for example, hosting a webinar or a product pitch or following up with customers who didn't purchase. So some different options here. You can preview those and you can also just click use them. For this example, I'm just going to create one from scratch. So I'll say create automation. You can start an automation in a variety of different ways. So if someone joins a form or a landing page, this would apply for both, or maybe they're added to a tag, you can start the automation that way. So let's say joins a form. I'm going to click here. I'm going to go find my hiking page that I set up earlier. So here's that hike food packing page that I set up at the beginning of this demo. I'll add that as an event. So as soon as someone signs up, they now go into this automation, and we're going to determine what happens next. And we'll do that by clicking this plus sign just below the landing page name. And there's a few options here. We'll start off with an action. So let's connect an email sequence to this landing page. I'll just click on email sequence, and then I'll choose that welcome sequence, and we will just add that there. Now, this is an example of a really basic automation that many people set up when they first start using their account. So don't feel like you have to get complicated with automations. This works perfectly fine. Anyone who signs up to this gets the welcome sequence. When they're done, they've ended this automation, and this is a great automation to have, welcoming people in as soon as they sign up and really getting them engaged with your content. Now you can also add multiple entry points. So up here at the top where we have the hike food packing landing page, right next to that you'll see another plus icon. So I could add in a different way that people get in here, maybe a different form. So now I've got a form and a landing page going into this sequence. I could also add another entry point and say, let's say someone is added to a certain tag. For example, I don't know, level 1. That tag could also put them into this automation. Let's kind of move people on. So they go through this welcome sequence, they start to get familiar with you, and they've made it all the way through. They haven't unsubscribed. They've gotten through that sequence, and now they're ready to move on to the next step. You could add a tag to them, for example. So maybe I want to add this level 2 tag. So now I know, okay, you have gone through this welcome sequence. Now you're kind of at a level 2, like you're going further here. So this system can be set up however you'd like, but this is just an example. So level 2, and now we're going to move them into an email sequence all about this course that we have. So this is a Bake Better course. So maybe, for example, this account is set up around food specifically. So maybe you move them into this course pitch, and now you are starting to talk to them about a course that you have. You are suggesting they go purchase the course, promoting that course through this sequence. And so as you're promoting that, of course, somebody might go purchase. And maybe you have, let's say, 5 emails in this sequence, and they go purchase on email 2. Well, now there's a dilemma because you don't want them to get the other emails. They've already purchased from you. They don't need to be promoted to anymore. And so these automations have a great solution for that. Let's say they go purchase this course, and just as an example, maybe you're using Teachable, and Teachable is connected to ConvertKit. So when they purchase that course, they get a tag here in ConvertKit to let ConvertKit know somebody has made a purchase over in Teachable, and it's for this specific course. Now you can add another step here and choose an event. And what an event does is it looks for whatever this thing is you're about to add, looks for that to happen anywhere above it in this automation. So I'll say a tag is added, and the tag that's added is purchased this Bake Better course. So now I know that somebody's gone through here. If they get to that second email, they go purchase and they get a tag, they are moved to this spot specifically. So they're taken out of anything above this. Let's say they even go purchase that course before you even start pitching it to them. Maybe they just have seen something about it and they go buy it, and they're in this welcome sequence. They'll be taken out of this sequence. They won't receive any more emails from this course pitch. They'll just move down to this step here, and then you could follow up with them. So maybe you could add another sequence. So there we go. We're following up with anyone who's made that purchase and letting them know some more details. You can, of course, add more tags, etc. So that's a look at automations in ConvertKit. Again, I know there's a lot here, and I know there's a lot we've gone over. I just want to mention again, you don't have to use these automations in this much complexity. You can simply just have subscribers going into that welcome sequence to start out with and then move on from there. But hopefully this shows just how incredibly detailed you can get with these visual automations. Another thing that you'll have access to with this automations area is integrations. So over here on the far right side, if I click on integrations, you can see a list of some of the integrations we mentioned here. These are definitely not all of the integrations available. There are many, many, many integrations out there. So I would definitely suggest just searching or asking your whatever you're working with that you want to integrate with ConvertKit. Just go check and see if they've built an integration with us. Odds are a lot of places have. So there's a lot of options here. Here in the integrations area, these are specifically integrations that we have more detailed information on. So if you click one of these, you'll see some more details about how to set that up and how to use it. And so integrations are a super great, powerful way to use ConvertKit. Basically, it's just a way to connect systems that you use up to ConvertKit and have a nice flow of people into your ConvertKit account.
Wow, we've been through a lot of things in this demo, and I completely understand if it feels a little bit overwhelming, but hopefully you see the power ConvertKit can offer. And that's a big thing, is the power it can offer. You may not use all of these features up front as soon as you sign up, but as you start diving into them and using them, I think you'll really start to see how amazing it is to be able to segment people out and automate things and take people through these very specific flows and really be contextual with them. That's a great way to get engagement, is to essentially be reading the minds of the people who are on your list. So let's break down exactly what's in the free plan, what's in the creator plan. I haven't really mentioned that throughout this demo because I just wanted you to see what ConvertKit has to offer. But let's take a look at plans and help you understand what you might be signing up for.
So here we are on the pricing page for ConvertKit. You can get here by going to convertkit.com/pricing, and you can see all of these plans here. But let's just take a look at what's included with each. So the free plan allows you to have up to 1,000 subscribers, so you can really build your list for free. The only thing the free account does not include are those automated funnels and email sequences we looked at. So those visual automations I was building out, and also, of course, sequences. We also don't include our premium support with this, which means that there may be a little bit more of a delay when you reach out to support as compared to if you're on the creator plan. Integrations are also not included with this free plan. So those integrations we looked at where you can connect to other services aren't available on this free plan. But you can create unlimited landing pages and forms. You can have unlimited traffic, customizable domain name. You can send those email broadcasts we looked at. And you can also tag subscribers and, of course, manage up to 1,000. Now, on the creator plan, you have everything I just showed you in this demo. So on the creator plan, it starts at $29 a month for up to 1,000 subscribers. The reason that number is the same is that you get those automated funnels and email sequences. You get the premium support and you get integrations. You also can get a free migration from your current service. So if you're using an email service right now and you want to move over to ConvertKit, we can move over your subscribers for you free of charge using our free migration service. Also with this creator plan, just to mention, you can get started right now with a free 14-day trial. There is no credit card required up front, and you can cancel it whenever you'd like to. So it's worth at least starting that up and kind of seeing if you're interested. If you're not, you won't be charged for it. It's not one of those, subscriptions you sign up for and then forget about and they charge you. We don't want to do that. So no credit card required up front. And the fee is monthly. So this starts at $29 per month. The only difference in these ConvertKit plans under Creator is just the amount of subscribers you have in your list. So once you go past 1,000, you move up to the up to 3,000 subscribers plan. All of your features stay the same. So there's nothing that we kind of shut off for somebody in a lower account or a higher account. We really want you to be able to grow your list and use all the resources available to you. So the only difference in plans is just how many subscribers you have in that account. Now, there's also a yearly plan, which does save you per month. So that'd be $25 a month instead of $29 a month for up to 1,000 subscribers. And what's really great about the yearly plan is it is billed up front, but you're basically paying for 10 months of service and getting 12 months worth of service. So if you're feeling like I want to move over to ConvertKit and stay here, which I highly recommend you do, it's really a pain to switch email services. So, if you're going to move over and be here a while, yearly is a really great option. Now, there's one more option you might see on this page, and that is Creator Pro. And the difference in Creator Pro are all of the things listed here. So Facebook custom audiences, deliverability reporting. You can invite more than one other person. So on the Creator plan, you can only invite one other person to join your team. In this case, you can invite your whole team to join you in this Creator Pro account. You can redirect links in email broadcasts. So if you've sent out an email, you could go back and change what that link is in your email if you accidentally sent out the wrong link. You can also see some subscriber engagement scoring. So you can see how active or not active individual subscribers are and exactly how engaged your subscribers have been for your list as a whole. You can also use this newsletter referral system. And this basically gives your newsletter subscribers a reward for sharing your newsletter list with other people and having them sign up. And you also get priority support. So our support team prioritizes Creator Pro plans. Of course, you get that free migration service as well. You can sign up to this one as a trial as well and see what that's like for you. If you decide, hey, I don't want to be on Creator Pro, but I do want to be on Creator or even, the free account, you can always just let us know before your trial's over. Hey, I want to switch back to something different. Even past your trial, if you want to switch to a different kind of account, we can work on that with you. So anyway, that's a look at our plans and what you can expect and what you're paying for. Again, I would highly recommend signing up for that 14-day trial. It's no credit card, so if you forget the day that you're supposed to change things or whatever, there's nothing to worry about there. You have full access, so you can even start sending out emails within that 2-week period and just see if it will work for you. And you can always, switch to the free plan if needed. But that creator plan, just those automations are fantastic. Either way, if you start off with a free account, that's a great place to get started, and you're at least on a platform that can grow with you. So once you get to the point where you need those automations or you need some of these other features, you can grow into that by going up to the creator plan and really getting those power features here in ConvertKit.
All right, thank you so much for being here for this demo event. It really is always a pleasure to share ConvertKit with you. And hopefully you've been down in the chat asking us questions, sharing your story, and just getting the answers you need to have before you decide to move forward. Even if you haven't, I'm excited that you're interested in ConvertKit, and I hope that we'll see you with a ConvertKit account very soon. If you have more questions, please feel free to go to community.convertkit.com. There you can sign up for a free account and ask questions. We have a lot of customers there, existing customers who are just talking with each other about ConvertKit. We have people just like yourself who are interested in ConvertKit, who are asking questions there as well and just trying to find some answers. And so if you have more questions, please feel free to go there and ask any questions you have. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in ConvertKit very soon.